You know, I just want to remind you guys that I'm a redneck woman. I ain't no high-class broad. I'm a product of my raising. I say hey y'all and yeehaw. And I keep my Christmas lights on out on the front porch all year long. And I know every word. I know all the words to every Tanya Tucker song. Why is this song stuck in my head? That's not what we're here to talk about. My name is Bear of BearIndependent.com. Some of you Espanolers call me the Oso Independiente. I'm pretty sure that means something along the lines of Bear Independent in Espanol, but that's literally 40% all the Spanish that I know. I can find the bathroom, order a beer, and tell you some really bad words. Other than that, that's what I got. Why are we in the truck talking this morning? Just a little, zhuzh, a little push, some confirmation perhaps for y'all before this road gets dumb bumpy, because it's about to get dumb bumpy. Yeah, use that in your daily vernacular. People will look at you sideways. Get to know your neighbors. Yes, get to know your neighbors. Before the end of the world as we know it would be a good time to get to know them, because wouldn't it be nice to have them in the asset column, not the liability column, after the end of the world as we know it, SHTF, without rule of law, when the Panamanian paratroopers land in your backyard and rape your dog and eat your kids, or whatever your pet scenario is. Whoa, bump. Get to know your neighbors. I have, in the last 5 days, met 2 neighbors that I have not met before. And the result of meeting these 2 neighbors, I met one at sundown on Shabbat, which was fortuitous because they needed a heck of a lot of work, help. They had a dozer stuck in the mud that they were trying to pull out with a backhoe. And I was like, no, that's not how this works. Let me help. And sometime later on Sunday, that thing was finally out. And the man's wife was like, who are you? I said, I'm your neighbor right over here. And she said, you wasted half your weekend helping us trying to get this stupid machine out of the mud. And I said, yeah. And one day I'm going to need something and y'all will remember this. And they said, yeah, we will. I said, actually, I'd kind of like to have use of that backhoe at some point because I got a couple things to dig. And they said, you just let us know when. Sweet. So that's cool, right? Just because I was neighborly. And then this morning, one of the roads that I normally take to go to one of the places is closed inexplicably. So a nice old lady who I've never met before told me, she gave me the flashy signs with their headlights, and I stopped and she stopped and she said, hey, the road's closed. You probably want to turn around. Cool, thanks. And so as another vehicle was coming, I flashed them and said, hey, the road's closed. Probably want to turn around. I said, thanks. And I said, and because of where I was, I said, hey, I'm your neighbor up over here around the thing with the thing. I said, yeah, we know you. You live next to the blah, blah, blah. And I said, I do live next to the blah, blah, blah. And they said, well, that blah, blah, blah is our daughter's place. I said, oh, your daughter's blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, let's all get together and fry some fish and hang out. And I said, hey, man, as long as it's got fins and scales, I'm in. And I said, that's not a problem. Let's do it. So, and, you know, we help our neighbors and they help us. Literally, the people right next door to us, which is funny because we both got big pieces of land and both of the houses are on the corners of the lots. So it's like, we got big pieces of land, but you could throw a softball in between the 2 houses. I'm like, this is okay, cool. And so because of that, from jump, when we first moved in, I was like, we need to be friends with these people regardless. And we are, right? They help us, we help them. But just strategically, I knew from the beginning, we need to have these people in the asset column because they're so close. I don't want a liability that close to me. Turns out they're great people. Praise the Father. That's awesome, right? But we helped them with a thing recently, and their parents were like, hey, yeah, you helped them with, thanks so much for helping them with that thing. So now we have second and third order of effects context with people. Because people know people, and in small towns around here, word gets around. If you're an a-hole, everybody knows it. If you're a good guy, everybody knows it. Word travels fast, right? I mean, I ran into a guy recently, he was like, you know, yeah, my brother's the UPS guy. He says you're all right. Huh, that's something to consider. Because that UPS guy has seen, you know, the front portion of our property 100 times coming and going. Better be good with the UPS guy, right? And there's a cow out. Probably should have stopped, put that cow back. Oh, if he's still there on the way back, I will. Not my cow. So point being, be neighborly, right? Because it's all about building context. I've had this, you know, just in the last few days, twice, this has paid off real well. Real well. I got a backhoe and a dozer and a 4-wheel drive tractor at my disposal if I just ask for it with a favor. That's cool. That's super cool. Because Bear can't afford all those things. Bear ain't going into debt to buy a backhoe. So, but I don't have to now. Hey, bump, simmer down, road. And now we get to go to a fish fry with some new neighbors and hang out and meet people and fellowship and date each other and fall in love and do the hard things together and build context and build community and become assets to each other and help each other out the way people were designed to do. So I just wanted to share that with y'all to encourage you guys to literally go meet your neighbor. What's that rebuke in Matthew 23 when Messiah is talking to the Pharisees? He said, you go halfway across the world to win a convert and then you doubly enslave them to hell, right? It's like, yeah, we do that. I'll drive, you know, hundreds of miles to go bless somebody with Grindstone Ministries, but you better make sure your next door neighbors are squared away too. Because when things get sideways, guess who you're gonna have to deal with immediately? It ain't that person 800 miles away that you went and hung out with on a mission trip. It's your next door neighbor. So I just want to encourage you guys, reach out, literally, figuratively, reach out. Go hang out with your neighbors, go be a blessing to each other, build context, build community, because when you need an extra set of hands, it's nice to be able to get them. Back on a paved road. Shalom and blessings, y'all. Bear out.